Hello. I'm just gonna wait 30 seconds or so. I was waiting for, I wanted to do a stream maybe like 15, 20 minutes ago, but Ken Brown was streaming, so I was like, yeah, I'll just wait till he's done because I looked in his chat and it's pretty much everyone that would be in mine. And I'm probably I may delete this because it's not like I have an idea and stuff. I just want to talk about some stuff. Oh, hey, BDR. Actually, I'm glad you're here because he's still going. He said he had to stop. Did he start again? I don't know. Whatever. Oh, thank you. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. Anyway, yeah. So I had something interesting happen. Kenneth Brown, he has a channel. I had something kind of interesting happen to me this weekend. My friend, like my best friend, she's been my best friend since, I don't know, maybe we were like 17. I've known her probably like for 15 years or something though. Yeah, Barbie's boyfriend. Yeah, I known her for 15 years. Yeah, we've been really good friends. You know, she was like in my wedding. I was in her wedding. Even my sister had her in her wedding. She used to come to like all my family's holidays. And like, I mean, yeah, we were really, really, really close. No, VDR, stay. I need your opinion on this specific thing. It's specific to you. Or I want your specific opinion. Don't leave. I mean, I can try to get to the point faster, but I feel like I need the whole background story. Yeah, okay, so my really close friend, yeah, and we've always gotten along really well, and like, we've always like, understood each other on a higher level, I want to say. Like, I don't always relate to, every person that I meet. Like I don't open up that easily to people. Sometimes I just don't it's not that I don't get along. I can get along with people fine, but sometimes people think my worldview is like weird, or like I don't know. Not everyone like gets me. I mean, you guys probably relate to this. Not everyone gets you. Some people just want to talk about like sports ball, and when you're not interested in like sports ball and like The Bachelor, sometimes people are like think you're weird, Anyway, so this is my really close friend, and she had a baby. The baby is like 4 months old or something, and so she was texting me this weekend. She's like, "Do you want to come to this Christmas market with me?" And I didn't get all dolled up. I'm not wearing any makeup. Glad you think so, though. I'm not. And it's really dark. You want me to like turn the light on? I could. I kind of like I don't really like light that much. Yeah, I like candles. I'm actually gonna turn this lamp off and just have the candles. That'll be really, no, that's way too dark. Okay, just kidding. She was like, come to this Christmas market with me. We went to it last year and it was cool. And I was like, okay. So I went, and then she tells me that she wants her and her husband, like she's been fretting about having like a baptism for the baby because she, never like went to church or anything. She was like baptized by like Lutherans or something when she was like 12. But okay, I won't delete it, at least for a couple days or so. Go to your kids. I get it. Yeah, so she yeah, she wasn't like raised in like a church or anything. She was baptized when she was like 12. And she's just been kind of like fretting about having like a baptism for the baby or like whatever because they like don't want to join a church, like they don't want the commitment or something. And then like all of a sudden we're at this market and she tells me she wants to have like a Roman, like the ancient Roman, a Roman pagan baptism. Like they looked up like Roman pagan, like Reconstructionist religion. And that's what they want to do like during like Saturnalia. And I was just like confused. Like, is this like, are you really serious? Like, that's what you want to do? And she even like brought up, so weird. She even brought up, like on Halloween, like that she doesn't even, that she's like feels weird celebrating Christmas. And it's kind of sad because she like loves, I thought she like loved Christmas. Like, I mean, she at least liked, you know, decorating the tree and all the secular things surrounding Christmas. And now she's like it seems like her and her husband full on are like rejecting even like a, just sort of like a cultural Christianity, like just celebrating Christmas and like I don't even care. It's like have like a regular baptism at your house for your baby. Like it doesn't mean you have to like take him to church, like I get it. Like they don't want to go to church, fine. A lot of people don't. But like now they're gonna like do this like pagan ceremony. I don't know, man. And then I was just kind of like shocked at all this and I was just like didn't really say much and I was like, can't you just be like a normal, crypto pagan Christian or something? It's like you guys are Christian, like your families are Christian. Like that's what you are. It's like Jews don't, go around worrying if, Moses literally split the Red Sea so if they can have like a bris for their baby or not. It's just like, I don't know. Anyway, yeah. And I think what it has to do, it's like she doesn't believe in like Jesus. And then, yeah, it's partially that. And then it's like, there's like this propaganda everywhere that like Christmas is pagan. Like I honestly think a lot of that the anti-Christmas stuff, the anti-Halloween stuff probably came originally from, like evangelical Puritans. I think that's where it came from because I kind of looked this up and I don't know, like I don't know how pagan it really is, But anyway, yeah, that was my son. He's sitting on the couch watching Snow White, so I could do this. Anyway, well, Claire, I mean, they literally want to practice idolatry, though, Like I don't know if they're seriously thinking they want to like worship like Zeus or like Saturn or something, but like, I mean, how is that not idolatry, At least Christians like say that they're not idolatrous, Even if people think they are, I don't know. Yeah. What does decorating a tree in the house have to do with Christianity? I mean, it's a Christian, that was like the traditional thing to do for Christmas in Europe. I don't know where exactly it came from. Maybe it came out of like Advent wreaths, which are, more like they have those in churches and things. I don't know. I mean, the Victorians invented the tree thing. Okay, so it's all pagan. Anyway, I told my husband about what they wanna do with this, like, pagan baptism. Yeah, but, like, it's not, like, literally, you know, baptizing your child to Zeus, like having a Christmas tree. That's not really what that is. Um, anyway, yeah, I told my husband, and he basically was really mad and was like, "We're not going to that. It's blasphemous, and it's, like, insulting to God," basically. And he was really mad. Now I feel really funny about it. Yeah, but, like, it's not about if Zeus would beat Jesus in a fight, It's, like, more like, look at, like, Saturn, like, ate his own children. Yeah, what is exactly, Pepe, what is a pagan baptism? Does that even exist? It's like, just pour some water over your kid and say a couple words. Like, it doesn't need to be, like, Roman or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's what I can't tell if I'm depressed about that, or maybe it's like a winter thing and I'm just not getting enough vitamin C or vitamin D. But I don't know. Past couple of days, I'm just like, and then what worries me is, um, I don't know if you guys saw the video where I was talking about the girl who, like, defriended me because I yelled at this lady who yelled at my kid. I swore at this woman in public because she yelled at my kid, and I was mad. And this girl was like, "Oh, I can't. My kid can't be around you anymore because you did that." I was like, "Well, that sucks." So now I'm just worried, like, I'm gonna lose this other friend that has been my best friend for like 10 years over this. I don't know, man. It's like, what do you do? What do I do? And what do I do to cheer myself up? Like, I was thinking I should watch like a funny movie or something. Uh, are you calling me chubby? What would you guys do? I want to know what everyone in the chat would do if they were in this situation where their best friend was becoming a Roman pagan reconstructionist practitioner. Like, what do I even say to that? I thought Christians were supposed to be joyful. What happened? Why did she yell at your kid? My kid was crying, and this old lady yelled at me, "Can't you keep that kid quiet? Can't you do that?" And I was like, I honestly thought she was joking at first. And then the girl I was with, the one that hates me now, said to the woman, "Wow, that was really rude." And I was like, "Wait, that was serious?" I literally thought it was a joke. That's how ridiculous it was. And I yelled at her. I just said, "F you." That's it. That's all I did. And yeah, maybe it was wrong to like swear in front of the kids, but is that really a reason to like completely discount a person? I mean, maybe she had other stuff about me that she didn't like. Who knows? Yeah, it's my really good friend's ceremony. I don't know. Like, what do I do? Like, try to like talk her out of it? It's like, is she trying to like get me to not show up or something? It's weird. It's really weird. Yeah, but I want to like know, like, I don't know. Listening to Schubert. I feel like there's like, what's a really funny, like, sometimes this is really girly, I guess, but I just watch like, those bad movies that I watched a lot in my childhood. If I want to like cheer myself up, like I was thinking I should watch the girls in the chat. I hope you guys have seen that movie, Bring It On, with Kirsten Dunst. Like, I love any movie with Kirsten Dunst in it. It's like a cheerleading movie that I loved when I was a kid. It's so bad. but it's so good. And also that the movie Marie Antoinette, which also stars Kirsten Dunst. I just watched Home Alone. I was thinking that too. It's really good for right. Yeah, Butterfly. Definitely you're I think you can I was told you can attend these things, but you're not allowed to participate in it. But yeah, my husband isn't gonna go if that's really what they're doing. Uh, yeah. So it's like we're not going, and I think she knows me. I mean, she basically like knew that I wasn't gonna wanna go to this. And it's like, why would you that's the thing. It's like I don't think that this is really she's really all that serious about it. So like why purposefully kind of do something like that that you know would like make me and my husband feel weird. And I guess it's like their family. They can do whatever they want, but it feels like I don't know, it feels offensive. Yeah. It's her revenge. Yeah, no, I know like if I asked any priest or something, they would definitely say not to go. And my husband's not gonna go anyway, so it's out of the question. But I think what I was thinking about it like all day yesterday, and um, I thought of something that I thought of what I wanted to say, and I said it, told it to my husband. He's like, "Yeah, that seems like a reasonable thing to say." So what I was gonna say is just, it seems really surprising and out of character to me that you're really sort of questioning whether you even want to celebrate Christmas or not anymore. Because you love Christmas, and like no one says that you have to believe in, you know, the literal resurrection of Jesus in order to celebrate Christmas, but like you're Christian, your family's Christian, your mother-in-law, you know, your in-laws. That's the other thing I was thinking, like, are they going to invite she's not even in touch with her family because her mom was like single mother, like drug addict, and she doesn't know her dad. But her husband's family, like they're pretty close with them, and it's like, are they? Is his mom gonna like appreciate that? Like, I don't think that she would. I think she would probably feel just as weird about it as me. So it just seems the whole thing just seems kind of unbelievable to me. Ask her if she's depressed. Maybe she has postpartum depression. It's possible. She honestly seemed like just really frustrated when I got to her house yesterday, like with the baby. I mean, that's a hard time when babies are little like that and they're constantly feeding. You're not getting much sleep. Maybe it's, you know, weird. But then yeah, it's weird. Go and take pictures of my friend's pagan ritual or ask her to video. Yeah, Saturnalia. Is this like a thing that people are doing now too? Like, is this common? Because I had the girl, oddly enough, the other girl that, you know, disowned me for, um, you know, returning fire at that rude woman. She's like a weird pagan too, I think. Like she's always like writing about I don't know. I guess I think she's like a perennialist or something. Um I think she's like a perennialist because she's always quoting like, you know, yogis and pagans and Christians even sometimes and whatever. And it's like, okay, you're like a vague spiritual perennialist. I know she used to belong to like a Unitarian Universalist church. I don't really know what that is, but yeah. I don't know if she's depressed. She hasn't told me that she's depressed. Nor is Norvin having a pagan party. Is this a thing though? Have you guys ever heard of someone having like a Saturnalia party? I also this girl who was the photographer for my wedding, she posted pictures of like someone some party that she went to for um like midsummer, which is like a Scandinavian pagan thing. Like it used to be like St. John's Eve, and that's too Christian, obviously. So they had like a midsummer thing, and like they were all wearing like white robes and like flower crowns and stuff. Like this is apparently this is what people are doing. Uh, I'm not turning it into an iconoclast because the funny thing is like there's nothing I want more than like Renaissance humanism. But that doesn't mean I don't think people during the Renaissance no one was like literally worshiping Zeus. Like yeah, they made paintings and they wrote stories about it and stuff, but I don't think they were literally, worshiping it. Stop bashing paganism. Stop bashing Christianity. Yeah, but VDR, these are people that are consciously anti-Christian, you know? Yeah, she was talking about the winter solstice too. Yeah, I know. Everyone thinks Renaissance humanism is the problem. Flower crowns are okay. There's nothing like inherently wrong with a flower crown. Like they're beautiful, but that doesn't mean you need to be like a pagan to wear a flower crown, you know? Oh, the other funny thing, I don't know if you guys saw, I saw this maybe 6 months ago or something, but that guy from radio, like what was his name? You guys remember the Red Ice Radio guy? Anyway, that Scandinavian guy from Red Ice Radio made this whole video about Lucia in Sweden. Yeah, Henrik. It's like Saint Lucia's Day in Sweden, and he had this whole like rant. He was showing like footage of what they do for it, and he had this whole rant about how it's a beautiful pagan tradition and the Catholic Church is evil for like making it Christian. But the weird thing is like it was people singing, like polyphony in a big like Gothic church. And I was like, really? Like that's pagan? Like it looks Christian to me, you know? It's like we can argue that like all Catholicism is really just pagan or something, but like it's like then why are you so against it, you know? It's not that I'm anti-pagan. I don't understand why people who are Christian need to like consciously reject like Christmas and stuff. I don't know. I think that they're Christians and they should just embrace it, you know? Protestants cheered on when Notre Dame burned. Yeah, they didn't though. And neither did pagans, you know? That's the thing. Everyone, just Christianity brought true light to Ireland, forever casting pagans out. Yeah, I don't know much about it. The interesting thing though, and this is what I'm talking about with Renaissance humanism. And I was in what was that chat that we were in where like the guy was talking about what was it? I know some of you guys were there. Yeah, it was some. Oh, whose chat was it? Okay, I can't remember what it was, but there was some guy. Whose chat was it? I really want to remember. Sorry, this is important. Is this annoying that I'm twisting this? was it? Who was it? Not Paul Talk. Maybe it was Olaf's chat. Maybe it was, I don't know. Okay, I guess it's not that important. But yeah, the funny thing about the church that Varg burned down is that actually was like a pagan temple, like a literal one. Like it wasn't a Gothic church or like a Catholic church. It was like a literal, really old, like pagan temple that was converted into a church. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, okay. The guy in the chat was saying that Christianity, it just kind of like steamrolls paganism. It says that all pagans were barbarians, etc. And that's actually, I mean, maybe that's true of some Christians, and maybe that was even true of Christianity initially. But like, what I see in like like Augustine, and then later like Thomas Aquinas and like the Renaissance humanist Christians is that they did like want to embrace the best of like the classical world. Like they did embrace it. And you hear a lot of conflicting information though, that Christians burned the Library of Alexandria and they destroyed pagan temples and all this stuff. And it's like, we don't know, but whatever, if that happened, which I don't think it did, it's like Augustine was this, pagan, and he became a Christian, and it's like, it's not like he was, out there like saying how evil like Plato and Aristotle were, And now it does seem like the only people that are seriously making efforts to like preserve classical culture and classics like are mostly Christians that see it as like a precursor to Christianity. It's like all the like secular world is like, well, that's like too wide or something, or like too narrow, Olaf, I understand, like, I don't hate Protestants as much as you think I do. I really don't. What it is I disagree with the critiques, and I disagree with the iconoclasm that did happen. And I disagree with, well, I think that it's true that a large part of the Reformation, as we know it, was like a looting operation with kings and princes and stuff, like looting the monasteries. I mean, I don't know how much you can really debate that. But no, I don't hate you, and I understand the. I actually am understanding more and more like the. What's the word I'm thinking of? I understand you. Even if I disagree with like the theology, I don't think all Protestants are bad or anything like that. Let's see what the chat said. Yeah, I mean, what Claire said. Hi. What Claire said about hard to think of a ritual that you can perform with dignity outside a church with its stone interiors without wearing some kind of uniform that would look good. Catholics get it about showtime. That's absolutely true. And that's like this problem I see with where I think other religions and things like like are maybe a little bit trying to reinvent the wheel, It's like, even if you have like an outdoor procession or something, it's like you probably don't want to wear rags. You probably don't want to wear just regular clothes. It's like there's only so many things you can do that are gonna work and like actually appeal and seem serious, you know? Yes? Mother! Hold on a sec. Hi. Are you hiding? Are you hiding? Are you hiding? Okay. I'm just showing you how cute he is. Okay. Anyway. Well, okay, when you talk about Tyndale and stuff, that may be true. That may be true. But I think when you look at the major historical forces, it wasn't like I don't really think it was like a populist movement to read the Bible. I don't think, first of all, most people couldn't read anyway. You know, that was mostly an elite thing, and probably more and more people could. That's true, but yes. Yeah, I don't really think that was what Henry VIII had in mind, that he wanted to translate the Bible and whatever. What is going on with this chat? Yeah, there's like no wasps in New York City, huh? Oh my gosh, you went to Bishop Williamson Mass. That's funny. Yeah, he's like super catacomb. Like he broke with the Society of St. Pius X even, which is already like catacomb church thing, you know? Who are all these people invading the chat? It's a bunch of people I've never seen before. Interesting about Tyndale. I don't know that much about it. What I do know is I love the if you guys are looking for stuff to listen to, the Michael Davies. And I know Claire said that she knew Michael Davies, or maybe she knew his son. Either way, the Michael Davies lectures that are on YouTube are phenomenal. He really has good energy. Are there wasps in Boston? My sister-in-law lived in Boston. She's a wasp. I don't know if Protestantism was really about nationalism, though, because a lot of countries never went Protestant at all, you know, like France and Poland and Hungary and Austria and a lot of parts of the Netherlands and whatever. And those places seem just as national to me, you know. Boston is, yeah, it was, I was there. I was in Boston for the first time pretty recently. It's okay. It's not my favorite city or anything. Oh my goodness. Know what I love though is I was actually had to fly into Boston because I was on the way to New Hampshire. And yeah, I was sorry. Yeah, I was on the way to New Hampshire And man, I love New Hampshire. It's so beautiful. I want to live there. It's really nice. It's not, doesn't seem bad at all. Yeah, I don't know why he's screaming. France, I mean, yes and no, though. They never tolerated Protestantism, really. There was never really a significant amount of Protestantism in France. You know, it was either like Catholic or just completely atheist. Let's see. And yeah, you're right. I absolutely agree that Henry was not motivated by English nationalism. And I agree that Anglicanism is the middle road, and I don't hate Anglicanism. I think that's probably like the best expression of like a healthy Protestantism, because what they basically did is kept a lot of like the traditions intact and things like that, but it's missing certain things that I really like religious orders, and they're not too big on miracles and processions and yeah, I don't know what's going on over there. Processions. What's the other thing? Venerating relics and what's the other? Oh yeah, like going on pilgrimages and things like that. Yeah, I've considered Anglican. My husband's Episcopalian, so it would be really easy. But I went to a Episcopalian evensong service like not that long ago, and it was just like all old people. And I was like, that's okay. Plus, like I don't know. Actually, I haven't really looked into whether there's like a more conservative movement within Anglicanism or something. There probably is, but like I think a lot of disaffected Anglicans probably do just become Catholic too. My husband actually is part Irish anyway. But so are you, Olaf. So are you. Yeah, I agree. In England, the Anglicans seem the nicest. Like Roger Scruton is like the best Anglican. Yeah, I don't bring my kid to mass every week either. It's not really, but it's easy enough that we can, or it's close enough that we can just leave him home and go separately and actually like, yeah, you're right, Claire. Jews are forbidden to enter churches. But that means like you can't see anything, Like how are you supposed to be like an art historian at Jew if you can't go into a church? I don't know. Irish and Italians are sub-Saharan. I actually, Fulton Sheen was Irish. I didn't even know that. I actually looked up like what his ethnicity was. I actually read this article today by Camille Paglia about her Catholicism because she was like raised, she's Italian and was raised Catholic, and she said that she liked it growing up, sort of, when it was more Italian. And then she said, like, when the Irish started coming in, like, they just started being, like, too moralistic. And she didn't like that. But I don't know. I feel like I don't think of Bishop Fulton Sheen as, like, being super moralistic. I like his preaching style a lot. I think he's more, like, mythical, almost. What are you doing? Are you okay? Are you okay? Oh, what Camille Paglia said about Luther? She basically said that Luther and all the Protestant reformers were kind of like right about the pagan elements in Catholicism, and they wanted to get rid of it. But that is like the more like, I don't think that's like a good argument, because those are like the more native European things. Isn't that what people want, basically? Wouldn't that be more nationalist to have that? That's why I'm like, I don't see how Lutheranism is nationalistic. I feel like it kind of gets rid of that. Yeah, Methodists are kind of like Anglican. Methodists are like, Olaf is Methodist, so he's basically an Anglican. It did start in England. But yeah, I actually did read a little bit about what the history of Methodism was and stuff. It's kind of interesting because I guess like they just started letting people preach who weren't like ordained priests and stuff, and that was seen as really scandalous. But supposedly, I was watching this video today of Anthony Esselin, who I really like, talking about he was talking about virtue and like how the only way to like really restore virtue in a society is to have like a religious revival. And he was talking about what he called the so-called Great Awakening. And he said that was mostly Methodist preachers, like, traveling up and down the country preaching at people to be better or something. I don't know. Yeah, what are the methods exactly? I have no idea what they are. Gibby, no, don't touch that. Don't touch that. Don't touch that. Don't touch that. He was about to break all the Christmas ornaments. Hi. Can you say hi? Hi. Say hi. Hi. Say, how are you? How are you? What else are you gonna say? I'm doing a Christmas. You what? You want to sing a song? I think you did that too cool. Can you sing a song? No, but can you sing Twinkle Twinkle? Twinkle Twinkle Baby. Is that it? Keep going. I will twinkle. Can you? What else can you do? I do the Baby Beluga. Baby Beluga, can you sing that? Baby Beluga. Is that it? How high can you count? Can you count? 1, 2. Oh, this one. Can you count? Count to 10. Oh, yes. Can you count to 10? Yes. Can you count to 10? Yes. 1. Okay, do not do that. You can, I know you know how to say, can you say a prayer? What's this for? Is that it? How come you're only saying the beginnings of stuff? Pretty good. Can you count to 10, please? I'm trying to show all his tricks. Can you count to 10? Can you count to 10? 1, 2, 3. Okay. He's gonna break something if I let him swing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 16. You skipped a few numbers. 15. 13. 13? Okay, what are you guys saying over here? 1. Whoa, a big speed. Salvation Army. Did you guys see that thing with who was it? Mayor Pete was like getting into trouble for volunteering with the Salvation Army. Okay. Olaf, why are you trying to subvert my child? Okay. Pete! Okay. I think that's enough. Okay. He's crazy. He's absolutely crazy. Yeah, he really needs a haircut. He's never had a haircut, and my husband won't allow him to get a haircut. And he's even saying, I need a haircut. I think my parents are telling him to say that to us. Do you need a haircut? Do you need a haircut? It's a candle snuffer. Okay. Do you know about the Pharisees? Okay. Don't throw that at me, please. He's going to be a hockey player? My husband was a hockey player, and he wants him to be one. Okay. That's really loud. Okay. Can you stop, please? Can you use a drumstick if you're going to bang on a drum? Yeah, I know the Catholic Church in Ireland is a mess. I know. Well, it's not. I mean, they got rid of the mass, so it's like, what do you expect? You know, sad. Interesting, Ian. That's interesting that you left and became an Anglican. Tolerance is the virtue of a man with no principles. Chesterton. That's probably true. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You guys still never really answered my question. Do you guys literally know people in real life who do like pagan rituals or do that kind of stuff? And the guy that lives in Ireland, are there people that are actually doing druids and stuff like that? And what was I gonna say? So I think, isn't like a Satru or something in what's it called? Satru. Yeah, Satru in like Scandinavia. Like, is that really popular? I know like those YouTube channels have a lot. Do I believe in Marian apparitions? I do, actually. You know what's really kind of cool? So I've actually been meaning to say this for a while. So I was having some discussions with Olaf on the nature of like miracles and like the stance that the church has on that sort of thing. What was I going to say? Oh, yes. So the miracles. So it's interesting, like when you read about the miracles that happened or supposedly happened in, like the 9th century, the 11th century, they're, far-fetched to, say the least. Like I tried reading The Little Flowers of St. Francis, and it was just filled to the brim with like unbelievable miracles. And I was like, this is not made for my modern mind. Like, I don't understand it and I don't get it. That's why the Chesterton St. Francis biography was much more palatable to my brain. And that's the thing, is like he's self-consciously writing it that way. What I'm saying actually is, when you kind of look into some of the more recent miracles and apparitions, like the ones that are officially approved or not officially approved. Um, like the ones that happened in the past couple hundred years, let's say. The nature of those miracles is completely different than, the stuff from the Middle Ages. It's like, okay, so here's an example, like Saint Bernadette. This was in France. There's a movie about it that's really good, actually. It's called The Song of Bernadette. Um, it's like what they show in the movie is there's this girl and she's, Bernadette. She was a little bit slow. She couldn't even figure out how to memorize her catechism, right? And so she starts basically seeing visions of the Virgin Mary. And no one else is seeing the Virgin Mary, but like they believed her. And it's like in the movie at least, like the bad guys are like these kind of French Revolution supporting like rationalists who just want to be like, she's a religious fanatic, like we have to do something about it. And it's like, no, like this is we should listen to her, and she may be onto something here. She's saying, the Virgin Mary wants everyone to pray and do penance. It's a different type of miracle than the stuff that you read about in the Golden Legend. And it's the same thing with what's it called? Fatima. Fatima is a really interesting case because, apparently thousands and thousands of people witnessed um, something like a solar eclipse, but it wasn't, I guess. I guess it would have been impossible for it to happen at that time. It's called the Miracle of the Sun. You can look this up. I mean, there's tons of information about it. And, the kids at Fatima, like, the Virgin Mary, like, appeared to them, and it's like, who are we to say that they didn't see something, even if no one else saw it? There's something about that, and I know there's going to be some people out there like, oh, that's ridiculous. Like these people are crazy, psycho, put them in the psych ward, but that's not really right. I don't think. I think that these are like pious souls um, who saw something. I do believe that they saw something. That's kind of what I think about apparitions, and that's the way I've heard priests talk about it. Like, there's a good video. What is it? Uh, um, who's that guy from the Society of St. Pius V? Father Jenkins. Yeah, if you looked at those videos, like what Catholics believe, there's one about Fatima, and I like the way he explains it, because it's not like we're not a bunch of crazies, basically. Yeah, visionary companion. No, I agree with you. I don't even so much as think that religion is necessarily gonna make a person more moral, as I do it's going to at least make an attempt to properly form their conscience. I think that's good. It's like they'll at least, even if they don't accept it, know right from wrong, or at least you're attempting to give them a compass. Because I feel like I wasn't really given that growing up, and I think it's really taken for granted. Christianity doesn't have anything to do with being a good person. Yeah, that's interesting too. Space time about psychiatrists are more like Catholic confession. It absolutely is, and you see these global homo people, they're all about like therapy and psychiatrists and like, I have to see my therapist like every week. And it's like, well, maybe what you really need is like a spiritual director, or like a confession. I think that was there. There's actually this there was a Jewish psychiatrist. I think he was like Austrian, I want to say. Okay, it's getting a little too quiet. My son's. Are you hiding? Are you hiding? Where He always acts really crazy like this, like right before he's supposed to go to bed, you know? Live streams of the new psychiatry. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that because that's not a toy. Okay. He's going crazy because it's really cold and he can't go outside and whatever. What was I saying? Oh yeah, okay. So the guy. You want to sit on my lap? No, okay. What was I saying? Oh yeah. This guy Carl Stern. He was a Jewish psychiatrist from like Austria or something, and he converted to Catholicism, and funnily enough, actually, he wrote a book called The Pillar of Fire, which was one of the books that Bishop Williamson actually read when he was teaching in like Africa in some. I don't even know why that book was there. He found that book and like some other random Catholic book when he was like teaching in Africa. And like supposedly it had like a big influence on him. Bishop Williamson of all people. But yeah, I think Carl Stern, the guy who converted, his big thing was like this psychiatry is like a substitute religion. Okay, can you please stop? Can you pick up the books and put them back on the table? Thank you. But yeah, I mean, it's like people need guidance, you know? I do. I'm not afraid to like admit it. I'm not my own God. I'm not my own priest, and that's okay. Psychotherapist or clergy. Yeah, I'd and that's the other thing too, is I never felt comfortable. I've never gone to a psychiatrist or a psychologist or anything. And especially like when I think the big thought I always had, especially since I've been older, is that like you don't know. My computer is about to die. I'm on 1%. Yeah, you don't know what the worldview of the psychiatrist is. You don't know what their morals or virtues are. You don't know anything about this person, and you're just gonna like go in there and break down. I don't know. I guess I am. It's funny I'm saying this on a live stream because I know this is like probably a really extroverted thing to do, but I don't think I'd feel comfortable going in and telling a stranger like that. I don't. Yeah, I understand the irony of saying this on a live stream where a bunch of people that I've never met before are watching. But I feel like I know you guys. I do. And yes, this is confessional, and I honestly had the intention of doing this specific stream with telling that story about my friend because I needed to vent about it, you know? I just stream to avoid facing crushing loneliness. Yeah, it's like I'm not gonna bore my husband ranting for hours at him. And I guess there's some people who want to listen. I do feel better off. I do. But I still need suggestions of goofy, funny movies to watch that aren't Home Alone because I just watched it. Hi. Yeah, I agree that psychiatrists are not counselors. Are they even like? Do they even really give advice or not? I don't know if they do. You know, I've never been to like a Catholic confession or anything, but I did have a priest give. Hold on, I've got a text. Hold on, sorry. Sorry. What was I saying? What was I saying? Oh yeah, I had a priest give my husband and I like a marriage class, and it was um, woke. Like they gave us a pamphlet, and it was like, yeah, basically, this isn't going to be easy. That's the thing. It's like it's kind of I like what they say, and I think a lot of people don't like it because they're like, this is harsh. But like everything that they say is generally true. It's just that people don't want to hear the truth because it's not always palatable, you know? It's just not. I'm interested in this Anglican guy in my chat. I feel like there's no Anglicans in the chat generally. Well, Ian, that's not true. For one, okay. Well, here's the other thing is the, that's another thing about Anglicans. I don't think there's confession, which I think is important. I think that's makes sense. But they do know about marriage for a few reasons. One is they're hearing people's confessions all day long for like decades. Like they know what goes on in a marriage, partially because of that. And like the pamphlet that they gave us about marriage was honestly like more woke. Like they've been doing this for a long time. It's not in the it's not like they don't have a super I would say that their view of marriage is probably like less sunny than, you know, maybe a lot of other pastors. I don't know what the other pastors say, but like they know that marriage is like can be like a cross. Oh, there is confession. Um the celibacy thing is like interesting. It is almost like they're like MGTOWs. Like their view of marriage is like I think it's pretty woke to be honest, is that like it's not gonna make everyone happy, basically. Ed Dutton says that it's like somehow for some reason like beneficial to have like a priestly celibate class. And they can like devote all their energy to helping the rest of the group or something. I don't know exactly what he says. He said something like that. Why don't Christians teach their children Hebrew? They teach them Latin generally. What statuettes? It's a candle holder. It's a moose candle holder. I don't think that's pagan. Come on. You should see actually like the frescoes in churches in Scandinavia that were like whitewashed over have like imagery like that all over them, like of the deer and stuff. Like there's nothing, anti-Christian about having like animals in your art. It's not a golden calf. You guys are being superstitious and ridiculous. Yeah, the priesthood is a vocational calling, and guys, not everyone's gonna get married. I bet like none of you in the chat are married anyway. Like being like a single person is not that crazy. Thank you, butterfly. Appreciate it. Roasted. 1970s Irish Mass was said in Latin. Yeah, they changed it like after Vatican II, and Hebrew is obsolete. I'm married. Get right. Okay, you're married. My grandmother still recites scripture in Latin. That's cool. What I really like is those um, medieval Gregorian Latin hymns. I think they're Veni Creator Spiritus. And I bet the Anglican Church still sings a lot of those. Olaf is self-diagnosed. There's a civil war going on between um, Olaf and space time in every single chat box. A straight up civil war. Visionary companion. Let the fundamentalists be afraid of art. It is almost a matter of principle for the Bible thumpers to have no taste. You're right. You're right. No, it sucks though. The thing is though, like I feel like those. What's weird about the not the fundamentalists, but just these generally more kind of moderate Protestants is like they seem to be creative. Like they're good with like designing stuff and like they have like good taste, but it's there's no tradition of like making religious art or like decorating churches, you know. VDR, you got to change that. Yeah, Christians who reject all forms of art. I think like the Amish are probably like that, you know. Like I think they don't trust it. But even Olaf was saying like, well, this commandment against image making must have been for a reason. He was like defending it. Many young converts are in flight from real life. Yeah, but at least we can all be fleeing from real life together. That's true, Butterfly. They do value craftsmanship. They make some really nice like cabinets and furniture and things like that. It's not for me. I think most people would not be particularly happy being Amish. I think it's like they almost make things harder for themselves when they maybe don't need to, you know. Yeah, no imagery or photography. I think it's a little bit superstitious. Like I don't think having painting or art is like going to corrupt you or something. Like I don't really get that whole. I mean, I know that people thought it was idolatry basically, but I don't think so. You guys want to see my little like holiday village? Protestants write the best novels. I don't know. I mean, what about like Flannery O'Connor and stuff like that? I think it's more like you like stuff in the Anglosphere, and that was just Protestant overall. You know. Sorry, I'm mumbling. Maybe I need to end this in a minute. I don't have a nativity scene. I would like to have one, but I just couldn't find a one that I liked, and I don't like buying stuff unless I love it. You know. You guys want to see my tree and all that stuff? Was actually yeah. Oh yeah, Graham Greene. He was good at writing novels. I haven't read them. I don't really know Graham Greene, but I know people like him. Yeah, Cormac McCarthy. Hold on. That's the tree. You have chocolate all over your face. Okay. I'll show you my little village. It's cute. The village. Except for the only thing is these lights are already like burning out. I guess I just keep them on all the time, but yeah, I got these at Target. My mother-in-law had one and I liked it, so I was like, I'm gonna do that too. You think the village is trad? You think the village is trad? The end of the affair turns a Jewish into the same. I don't have an nativity scene. I will someday. I just have to find one that I really like, you know. Yeah, I don't have a nativity scene yet. I'll have one someday. Yeah, I really like for Christmas trees, I really like those big, kind of old-fashioned, colorful C9 lights. Yeah, I don't like having overhead lighting in my house either. I like lamps and candles and stuff like that. Stop with the crib. I'll get one, I promise. It'll happen. It'll happen. Liberation theology. I don't know anything about. Oh, that's like basically communism, isn't it? Chris. No, it's the nativity scenes are definitely a Catholic thing. That village thing does kind of seem like maybe it's like an outgrowth of a nativity scene. Polish looking Christmas tree? Huh. Yeah, I think he does like the coziness. You should have seen what this. He bought this house before we even knew each other. And no, I don't support Pachamama veneration. Don't screw with me. And I never said I value paganism. Like I don't want to like worship Zeus. But I think, and this is not anything new or controversial at all. Christians should read the Greek and Roman classics, and they should also know like Norse mythology and Greek mythology, and that's not controversial. That's like what it means to be, an educated person. It's not that you're gonna like literally make an altar to Zeus and like start worshiping him. You're a Zeus worshiper, Mark? You would be. There is like, have you guys seen? There's a video, like a Vice video on YouTube about. It's called "The Greeks Who Worship Zeus." There's also one about, I think it was Vice too, about British people who like go to Stonehenge. It's like a joke though. Like there's like 5 of them, and it's weird. Like it's for weirdos, you know. I'm laughing at Olaf. I'm going full Buddhist. No. I don't want to color my hair actually. I kind of love. I don't have any gray hairs yet, really, which is surprising because my mom started getting gray hairs when she was like even younger than me. But I kind of like when women, especially with like dark brown hair, get kind of those streaks of gray. I kind of like the way that looks. Like I think it makes you look like a distinguished professor or something. Judas, I'm not buttoning anything up. No one can see anything. Yeah, Olaf, he gets it. She's like a hot professor. What are you doing? What are you doing? I don't want you to. Please don't break the ornament. You've already broken one. What do you want to do? Should we go upstairs? Should we go upstairs? Oh no. Botox. The thing is, oh, sorry, that is kind of honest. What was I gonna say about? What was it? Oh yeah, Botox. There's probably a lot of women that you guys see every day that have Botox and you think they're hot and you have no idea that they had Botox. It's really common. I've never done it before, but it can be done in a way where you can't tell. But I know Olaf doesn't like it. He's anti-Botox. But like, is it that different from like wearing makeup, really? I don't know. I mean, it's temporary. It's not like getting plastic surgery. tasteful Botox is possible, and it's becoming pretty common. It's pretty affordable now. Olaf, but I bet you've seen women that you thought were attractive and they had Botox and you didn't know. I bet. I know he's anti-skincare. He got mad at me for saying that, I wear sunscreen. I'm like trying to avoid wrinkles by wearing sunscreen, Is sunscreen lying? Is that fake? It's not natural. I don't wear that much makeup, honestly. You cannot always tell. You can't. I know it. Look at Reese Witherspoon. What's the other thing? Oh yeah, like retinoids or Retin-A is like these creams that you can use on your face that will have. It's the only, what are they gonna say? It's one of the only things that's really been proven to actually prevent wrinkles. And if you you can look up videos of this on YouTube, like my 28 years of using Botox. There's this woman, I can't remember what her channel is. It's like Hot and Flashy or something, or maybe it's some other channel. But yeah, you can look up my 28 years of using Retin-A. And this woman is 61 and looks not 61. And it doesn't look fake, and she hasn't had any Botox. So it's like, maybe it's just a smart thing to do, Is it made from foreskins? I don't think so. I don't know what it's made from. If you want to see something pagan, check out the winter solstice in Newgrange, 21st December, the central chamber lights up. It's incredible that its construction over 5,000 years old can still fascinate. Newgrange? What's this? I honestly don't wear much makeup in general. I'm not wearing any right now. I generally don't wear it on a daily basis. But, and this is the funny thing, is men will always be like, I hate makeup, like don't wear it. I know most of them say that. But I was just having this conversation with my sister. She was like taking some family photographs a couple weeks ago and like just put on a little bit of makeup. Not like enough that you can't tell. She doesn't usually wear it. And sorry, I'm laughing about stuff that you guys are saying. And her husband couldn't stop telling her how good she looked. And she's like, well, it's because I'm wearing makeup. But he always claims that he hates makeup. What you guys are actually talking about, you don't like when you can see that women are wearing makeup. That's what you don't like. You don't want to see like, colored eyeshadow and lipstick and stuff like that. But if you're just using like a little bit of, concealer and blush and bronzer, all it's going to do is make the woman look a little bit more awake and healthy and like happy. Yeah, Butterfly's right. You need like 5 products. But yeah, but I know men, and I don't really like it either. When you can see a woman and she's wearing like a full face of makeup and it's like you can see it, it's not generally. Some guy in the chat is saying, I like makeup. A lot of women have acne. If you have really bad acne, though, no amount of makeup is going to be able to cover it up. Some actually, I mean, I guess there's women out there who are, really, really good, and you don't even have to look very far. You can see the makeup tutorials on YouTube. Some of it is like sorcery. I'm just like, how do you do that? I'm not great at it, really. I'm like a beginner. Mark, yeah. It is weird though when you like, you see it when she takes her makeup off, and you're like, whoa, is that even the same person? Makeup came from Egyptian prostitutes. Yeah, actually, I like wearing a little bit of like bronzer. It just gives you that nice, healthy, just back from Bermuda glow, especially in the winter. I can't believe I'm talking about makeup on this channel. Like, you know how many channels and how many videos there are dedicated to talking about makeup? This isn't one of them. Well, my kid is doing that thing where he takes his blankie and goes like this on it, so I should probably put him to bed. All right, maybe I'll do this later. Actually, I don't think I can later, but um, yeah, I'll maybe someone else will do a stream and talk to you later. I never know how to end this. It's so awkward. Ugh. Makeup tutorials, but sneak in a classical education. How would I do that? That sounds cool. I don't know how it would work.